Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along to the Devenish complex here in Belfast. This is Deliverance. Ladies and gentlemen, the officials are ready ringside. The fighters are ready. Belfast, make some noise if you are ready! Our first amateur bout of the afternoon is taking place under 68 kilograms. Please welcome first making his walk to the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, representing Muay Maguire! And please welcome his opponent making the walk to the ring, fighting out of the red corner, representing Mayhem, Derry, Cav Ellis!
The North on the show has been fantastic. So there's been great skill from amateur right through to pro, and I expect the same this evening. Like starting off, we have a 68 kilo match.
There's a bit of a height difference between the two young fighters, though, isn't
Lots of energy coming out.
Yeah, and he's looking to close that distance, isn't he?
Yeah, I like this. The two of them are respecting distance, which means we're going to get a technical fight. Maguire had shown you he was rushing in, but maybe he's realised a little bit of the power on the receiving end of them teeps.
Yeah, you can see Ellis light on that lead leg, just trying to pop that knee up and even just threaten it just to keep his opponent guessing.
Absolutely. This is the atypical style for such a tall fighter. What we'll call a Muay Thai in Thailand, which is the kicking style. Again, nice clinch work. This is an area you know quite a lot about, getting into that close quarter area and rotating around. Some nice movements.
There's that timing on the teep was beautiful. Just
I like that this is the first match of the evening.
Yeah.
And they're respecting the distance, so we're going to see some clinical shots. And again, as I say to a lot of fighters, make it easy for the judges to score.
Yeah, and we can see that big overhand right by Jake Maguire certainly found a home, and that'll be something that the judges will have noted.
And sometimes, especially the way the martial arts environment is today, these guys, if this was K1, we'll see the shots maybe with equal measure. If a punch versus a kick could have an equal score on a judge's card, but in Muay Thai, traditional Muay Thai especially, and today, the kicks will score more. If that sweep had followed through, that would have been a great score as well. Intent and damage is what we're looking for.
Yeah, and for the people who are watching at home, maybe friends and family of some of these younger fighters that maybe aren't so familiar with the scoring criteria, Mark, you're mentioning their kicks score quite heavily and sweeps in particular as well.
Yeah. Well, there is, and we can go down a bit of a rabbit hole on this. Generally, we would have 5 rounds. This is going to be 3 rounds. In typical in boxing, a winner will get 10 points, a loser will automatically get 9. But in Thai boxing, the judge sees the fight in its entirety. How much damage has been taken by one opponent and delivered by another. Get caught up in the momentum of it, especially maybe the last show they went, there might have been K1.
Yes.
And rightfully they were cheering.
Yeah. The layout is a little bit different then, yeah, absolutely. And things like getting to your opponent's back and things like that, and putting your opponent on the canvas as well, they're generally...
Yeah, if they could keep damage and dominance are the 2 prerequisites that the judges are looking for. But I have to say, I'm impressed with these 2 fighters. For 2 guys opening up such a big card, I'm liking some of this technical ability. We can see the clinch being neutralised there. Nice strategic move. He obviously doesn't want to engage too much.
Yeah, it's common when you're calling fights on any martial art, whether MMA, kickboxing, whatever the discipline may be, that early in the card you'll have less experienced fighters, and that can lead sometimes to a scrappy fight. But these guys kind of look like they really know what they're doing here, and they're thinking about what they're doing rather than just fighting on emotion.
Absolutely. I think they're doing their clubs justice than the sport. I think they could be nearly mid-card or a little bit later on in the card in the next one. I like this batch.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying lately watching. I'm calling more and more Muay Thai shows lately, and I'm enjoying watching the clinch work.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? It'd be the same. I have a huge appreciation for BJJ, and I think I've probably done 5 classes in my whole life. But you know, when you look at something that's very intricate and very beautiful, great transitions and great execution, you can appreciate the beauty. It's just like yourself, you've far more experience that you could explain the intricate detail within that. And the same with clinch.
Yeah, I was explaining on a commentary on the last Muay Thai show I called. I was talking about the amount of training I've done with Collie Mann and how I was surprised the first time we actually did a load of clinching and grappling. I was thinking in my head, this is my moment now to shine. But no, he put manners on me, you know, and it's we had a lot of fun just kind of breaking down ideas that, you know, well, this comes from judo, this comes from jiu-jitsu, and it can transfer over into Muay Thai as well.
Absolutely,
people just kind of sometimes forget how much grappling is involved in Muay Thai.
Yeah, and it's an energy system on toward itself. Great second round. Very tough one to call with these two guys.
Neither fighter looking like they're too taxed at the moment. They both look like they've been using their weapons efficiently here. And
I kind of like that. I do like that, because one of my pet hates is if one of my fighters gets out of the ring and I'm in the corner and I ask them, could you have done any more? And they say yes. So the fact that they're being technical, I don't always need to see an exhausted fighter, but if they're strategically doing their best in the ring, I'd be happy with their performance. And again, Lara Byrne, very experienced in the clinch. A lot of referees, in my experience, and even internationally, would stop that straight away. They won't even allow, within Muay Thai, allow that to progress. Unless one of the fighters neutralizes, puts a knee across the thigh, well then Lara will step straight in. But I like the way in the corner there, Lara was willing to let that go. And it's one of the, as you said, it's one of the maybe sometimes underplayed skill sets in Muay Thai, is that clinch work.
Exchanging big kicks to the body here down the home stretch of round number 3.
And again, the psychology of it, if it's fairly even, the judges can make their minds up within the last 60 seconds of this. So we'll hear the corners getting a little bit more animated when the kicks go in, even if the kicks aren't that hard.
Without a doubt, yeah, and like you explained, the overall scoring rather than 3 separate rounds.
Yeah.
So the fight is technically, it's still up for grabs, you know.
Absolutely.
They haven't banked the scores from the first 2 rounds like they would in MMA or in boxing, so.
Yeah, and for people listening at home, like if we've, again, very experienced judges scoring this, if I was scoring in a match, which I've done before, they'll be taking little notes in between, so it's not just thinking about at the last minute at who's won.
That's a solid opening contest.
How about that for an opener for the card, folks? Please show your appreciation for both fighters. After 3 rounds, your winner by unanimous decision,